Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again. It's time for the monthly Tarotscope readings for May 2022. And as most of you know, the reason I use the North Node by sign and house as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology. Your North Node is your North Star, the path that you're supposed to take in this lifetime and the lessons you're supposed to learn. So it's much more relevant to your everyday life. If you're unfamiliar with your North Node, there's going to be a link in the description box below that can show you everything you need to know. So let's get started on the readings. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly tarot reading for May 2022 for everybody with their North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. And while I'm connecting to the energies and shuffling the cards, I want to invite you to just take some deep breaths, relax into it. If you're at a place where you can close your eyes maybe, and just really kind of open yourself to the reading and to get the information that is most relevant to you. So I'm going to connect the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and then this side over here represents the 16th of the month to the end, the second half. So really interesting. You North Nodes in Libra and or the 7th house have been on a journey the last few years. And I feel like you're one of the North Nodes that I feel you're at radically different levels. Like all of the North Nodes in Libra and or the 7th house, I feel like there's a wide gap and range and spectrum of where it is you are on your path. But the journey that you're on is what can be called the hero's journey, but it also could be called the fool's journey. So I like to refer it for this North Node, the fool's journey. Now the fool's journey is relating to the tarot deck, okay? And you start off as, everyone starts out as the fool, okay? And then they progress throughout the tarot, having different experiences and gaining from them, either gaining from them or not. And like the fool would progress into, either the magician or the high priestess. But then moving up, okay, one of the steps at the higher level, even beyond the magician, is where you've learned to work with all of the elements and you're able to master your life in a sense. The ultimate thing is now the hermit has learned all this knowledge and has it within them, and also can either impart it to others, impart that wisdom to others, or they hold it, okay, which is good. Now, what I'm getting for this month is what's coming in for you is to take this journey and realizes that you're going. The hero's journey was the journey of the warrior. Okay, being able to start out, conquer what needed to be conquered. Your personal dragons. Okay, conquer your personal monsters, and be triumphant at the end. Okay, and that comes from your south node being in Aries and or the first house. Okay, but the fool's journey is different because you're coming from more of a place. You should be coming from a place of innocence and naivete. Okay, where you are coming almost like a childlike innocence and exuberance, as opposed to a grizzled warrior that's going to go through life and conquer their monsters and their dragons. Okay, and it's a different journey, and it's a journey that is not only internal but it's external. Now, I feel big time. What's coming up this first half of the month is, I feel something that has to do with what you do for work or a living or a career. Okay, something that you do, and what you're learning is you're learning emotional sensitivity this first half of the month. And it is at work. And even if you are a person that works from home, like a parent, okay, or even just some of the work, something you do, and it's playing out where you're being guided to learn emotional sensitivity. And it's almost like this is like this like step one of what a developing person has to learn. Think of it this way. So one of the things that children learn, like you take a very young child, sometimes they say or do things that if an adult or even an older person had understood it, even an older child, it would be offensive. They'll like say things like, mommy, like, why is that person like this? Or, like, I won't get into it, but like, they could say something and they're like they don't mean it in a hurtful way. And then, the parent would say like, that's not nice. We don't talk about it, but the child, when they're very young, especially, they don't understand. They don't have the emotional intelligence or emotional sensitivity to understand that. And hopefully, if they're taught well, and they learn this, they're like, wow, I'm observing this, but I can't just say anything that's on my mind. And see, that's like the energy of Aries. It's like, I've seen Aries that where, not all of them, but one of the energies, especially when it's in the south node, remember, whatever's in our south node can develop the more like negative or dark side of that sign or house. Okay. But one of the things is they'll say like, I think and feel this way, so it is. It's like the first house. I think that what I think I can say, and there's sometimes like no filter, or it's like they even if they don't say it, they'll like think that. But as you develop, you're moving toward like Libra, and with the planet Venus. So you're going from like planet Mars, Aries, okay, to the Venus, okay. And this is emotional sensitivity. This is what you're learning. And you might think, okay, how does this apply in a business sense? I don't know how it's going to play out. It's going to be where it could be something to the effect that, maybe just off the top of my head, there could be a situation where it really helps to be truly empathetic with somebody, okay? Because something is happening within a work situation where it would be appropriate to show and feel empathy, but from a real place, to understand like, oh wow, to really feel that, to really, I can really feel that, what they're going through. And so that's just one example of that. And what it is that this is happening because it's like the first step of balancing you out. And even if you're further along on the path and you've progressed from the fool to the high priestess or the magician, and then on up to the hermit, okay, depending on where you're at, it's just something that always is coming up. Like if you've developed it, to keep honing that emotional sensitivity, that emotional, intelligence, okay? Instead of an IQ, an EQ, emotional quotient. And so this, whatever's happening, always remember, try to look at it not from logic or just your own personal like gut instincts, but if you go in more to the heart space, okay? Now, the second half of the month, I feel like a lot of you are getting this, but there's a different situation that's developing. And this situation is going to be somewhere in your life, you are going to be called to lay down your sword, to lay down your figurative weapon, okay? And to look for a compromise. And I feel like this is a huge step. It's almost like a game changer. You have your advice cards, the Wheel of Fortune, Hangman, okay, reverse. And this Death card reverse, what it is it's breaking you out of a pattern. And I'm almost feeling like it's like this trigger pattern that when you get triggered by something, by a situation, a person, people, like, any sort of a thing, okay? It's almost like it's like second nature, like, okay, pick up the shield, pick up the sword, like going to battle. And, keep in mind that you have an amazing gift. Most of you that have a South Node in Aries and or the first house, you are natural warriors. You fight for those you love. You stand up for people. You have an amazing courageousness in your energy field. But what's also courageous, remember, this fool's journey, or this journey to open up your sensitivities emotionally, requires sometimes, you think of the path of allowing other people to win sometimes. And you do it it could be for lots of different reasons. It could be that you are seeing that this situation that you're could be battling with, or this person that you're battling with, it's not worth the fight because, you can see beyond it. For example, maybe like, we recently, like, there was somebody that was acting up recently, people that I know, okay, and we didn't realize that a person had died in this other person's life, and they were hurting. And so when people are hurting in different ways, it'll come out. And then when the person understood, oh, okay, they're not in a good place, they were able to have empathy. And they were like, even though it wasn't maybe nice, what they were going through and what that other person said that was hurting, they said something very hurtful, because they themselves were hurting. The other person understood, like, okay, I'm not going to pick up my sword and shield. I'm not going to go to battle with this person because I'm going to, give them a break, type of a thing. And that takes a lot of courage, especially, for anyone with like a lot of Aries energy or first house energy, to be able to you know, go, walk away, peacefully. And it's people like, Martin Luther King. He was a big, advocate of standing your ground, but like, trying to be going through a path of nonviolence. And, also like you have characters of, Gandhi. And so it's like you cannot deny that Gandhi, and I know he was like a flawed individual too, but what he stood for and the things he did, like you can't deny he was a warrior. He never picked up a sword. You can't deny that Martin Luther King was not a warrior. He didn't pick up arms. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing any of that. But they were warriors. But see, it's almost like it's like the peaceful warrior path, and that's where you're going, okay? So this is going to be huge for you because like I really feel like it could be a huge turning point, because when you're able to do this, excuse me, now it's not going to be easy, okay? It's going to feel really uncomfortable, because I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but when you get offended or your feathers get ruffled, and trust me, like this, I have my Pluto is in the first house, okay? I have Pluto and Mars in the first house. So this reading applies to me too. Someone, disrespects you, or just, like automatically you can go into warrior mode. And that's a beautiful thing, okay? But not all the time. There's a time and a place to not always go into that. And that's what this pattern of always going to battle, this is trying to be broken this month, okay? So we're getting into some like deep stuff here, but I hope you can, get the gist of what I'm saying here, because this is like super powerful stuff. And it's things like that. So when you walk the way of the peaceful warrior towards Libra relationships, Libra in the 7th house, towards the planet Venus, okay? When you are able to do that, you are much more powerful, much more effective in your life, and you will see that a lot of things will unfold in your life and will become, more beautiful. Okay, you're going to have a more beautiful, existence, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. Challenge yourself this month. Try to walk away from at least one battle, and it could be like a minor thing, like I'm not saying you're not supposed to stand up for yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But in a situation, try to see, like, can I compromise? Can I like let the other person win? Can I see it from their viewpoint? This is how relationship works. This is how, it's being able to, and a lot of times it's compromise. You might still say, I believe this, but like, I'm going to do this for this other person, okay? Even though I feel like this, and you're going from the I, me, mine, okay, Aries in the first house. Nothing wrong with that, but this path is us, we, that's what you're moving towards. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you could hit that like button, it really helps. Appreciate it. Reach out to me in a comment. Any questions? Love to connect with all of you. And if you'd like a personal reading and some more information about personal readings, there'll be a link in the description box below. So again, thank you much, and we'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings.